of Howell Township Council to order. Diane, will you please read the opening statement and roll call?
This meeting is being held in accordance with Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, Open Public Meetings Act. Adequate notice has been provided in the manner prescribed by law. This agenda is complete to the extent known, and formal action will be taken. I'll begin with the roll call. Councilman Fisher?
Here.
Councilwoman's apologies. Councilman Nadell is absent. Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Gager is also absent this evening, and Mayor Leggio.
Here.
Thank you.
Resolution 25-106. Manager, is there a reason for us to go into executive session?
Yes, there is, Mayor. We need to discuss some ordinances, redevelopment, and a COA challenge.
Motion to go into executive session?
A motion for executive session?
Second?
Councilwoman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio.
Yes.
Thank you.
Reconvene meeting. Pledge of allegiance. And a moment of individual prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank May I have a motion for acceptance of minutes of February 18th meeting?
Make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Councilwoman Fisher?
Abstain?
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio.
Yes.
Thank you.
Reports of township officials. Mr. Clark?
So I have a very quick one from our Howell Fire Bureau. Brian Prochnow, who's our fire marshal, asked me to share this. So on Sunday, March 10th, states throughout the U.S. will turn their clocks forward for daylight savings time. Our Bureau of Fire Prevention reminds all that this is a good opportunity to change your home smoke alarm and carbon monoxide alarm batteries and test them to ensure that they're in good working order. Working smoke alarms save lives. Smoke alarms that are properly installed and maintained play a vital role in reducing fire deaths and injuries. When working smoke alarms are present in your home, the risk of dying in a home fire is reduced by 60%. Fire spreads fast. Working smoke alarms give you an early warning so you can get outside quickly. And in partnership with the New Jersey Division of Fire Safety, the Howell Township Bureau of Fire Prevention can provide free smoke alarms for those who qualify and/or assist with the proper installation if needed. Additional information can be found on the town's website or by contacting the Bureau of Fire Prevention office. So thank you, Fire Marshal Prochnow.
Nothing for me.
Nothing from me as well.
All right. I'd like to open the floor for a hearing of citizens and public comments.
Each person shall first give their name and address to the clerk. The council should be addressed as a collective body and not as individual members. Each person shall have one turn to address the council, and comments shall not exceed a total of 5 minutes. Speakers shall be notified when their time has run, and no time extension shall be permitted.
Good evening, Elaine Taylor, 1055 Maxim Southard Road. I told myself I was going to come up here at each meeting and ask that we might consider trying to find, create zoning for tiny houses and to try to start working on some tiny house community within our town. I don't know how we're going to do that yet, but I've been working with an architect and some builders and some investors, and I just hope that we can somehow try to find a place where we can create a little village of tiny houses. But that's all. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public? I am seeing none, so I'll make a motion to close public comment.
Motion to close public.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Response to public comments? Township manager?
So we will look at our zoning to see where there's opportunities for that. I mean, if Elaine has specific ideas about her own parcel, we're happy to sit down with her and go over some of that. And we'll make it part of, we internally here have bi-weekly development meetings, so I'll add that to our agenda to discuss.
Just to give some specifics on like tiny homes and a community. So Howell Township ordinance in all of our residential zones doesn't have a minimum structure size. Some towns do. That there's actually 1,000-foot minimum for a single family, 1,250 for multi, few things. We don't have that. So anybody can come in and build a tiny home as long as it meets code. That's not necessarily being made out of a C box or anything like that, but if you can meet uniform construction code, then no issue. What we don't have are tiny lots, and I think that's more the request here. Tiny lots, many of them add density, add infrastructure requirements. A lot of our areas that are available for building are in our ARE zones, which are acre-plus zoning per residential structure. There are rural character areas. They don't have sewer. They don't have water. So wells and septic tanks have distances, and that doesn't lend itself to lots that are very tightly packed in. Density in Howell, I think, has always been a soft and a hot topic. So that's what comes with tiny homes. Again, if somebody wants a tiny house, our zoning permits it. If they want a community that's very dense and you're talking 10, 12, 20 structures to an acre, that comes with a lot of considerations, traffic, utilities, just to mention a few. That's all.
Sue? Anyone else? Sue? No? All right. Information. You guys are good? All right, next we'll vote on consent agenda items. Does anyone wish to separate any of these? No? So it'll be resolution R-2596 through R-25-103. 104 has been removed, and so and then also R-25-105. May I have a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to approve those specific resolutions.
I'll second.
Councilwoman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you. The consent resolutions pass.
Ordinance to, this is unfinished business, public hearing, adoption of ordinances. Ordinance to exceed municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. NJSA 40A. Anyone from the public like to speak on this? I'm seeing none. May I have a motion?
Motion to close public.
Yeah.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt ordinance 25-05.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 25-05.
Second.
Councilwoman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance is adopted.
Next up is O-2506. An ordinance amending Chapter 244, Right to Farm, Article 1, right to farm, and supplementing the Article 2 on farm direct marketing activities of the revised general ordinance of the Township of Howell. Anyone from the public? Seeing none? May I have a motion to close?
Motion to close public.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have a motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 25-06.
Second.
Councilman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
The ordinance is adopted. Thank you.
Next up is ordinance O-2507, an ordinance amending Articles 10 of the Township Code entitled Zones, revising Section 188-84.5 entitled Moderate and Low-Income Housing Overlay Zone 15, known as ML-15 Zone. Anyone from the public? Seeing none. Motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt?
Motion to adopt ordinance 2507.
Second.
Councilman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance is adopted.
On to introduction of ordinances. O-2508, an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Howell, Monmouth County, authorizing the leasing of a portion of Echo Lake Park in the Township of Howell pursuant to NJSA 40A12-15. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to introduce ordinance 2508.
Second.
Councilman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Yes.
Thank you. The ordinance is properly introduced.
On to the formings. Clerk, each one of these you want me to individually
Yes. Do you want me to read?
as we do it?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying abstain, or
You could do whatever you like.
individually, you just want to,
You vote individually, please.
we'll just do it individually?
Individually, please.
Ordinance O-2509, an ordinance amending Chapter 188 Land Use, Article 1 titled Purpose Definitions, Section 4 entitled Definitions, Rules of General Applicability of Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Howell.
Motion to introduce ordinance 25-09.
I'll second that.
Councilwoman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Abstain.
Thank you. The ordinance is properly introduced.
Could I explain my abstention?
Sure.
I'm in favor of everything that's in this ordinance with pertaining to the farmers and the markets and the stands. As far as abstaining, I've been directed by our council to, in the best interest, to abstain on some of these ordinances tonight. So I am going to follow their direction and abstain. Okay? 0-2510, an ordinance amending Chapter 188 Land Use, Article 9 zoning requirements to add Section 64.1 entitled Farm-Related Special Events, Small Scale, of the revised general ordinance of the Township of Howell.
I'll make a motion to introduce said ordinance.
Second.
Councilwoman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Abstain.
Thank you. The ordinance is properly introduced.
Same on this ordinance. I support everything that's in it. I support the farmers. And I believe it's fair, everything in here is fair and to their liking and, to the liking of the township to get us through this. Ordinance 025-11, an ordinance of the Township of Howell supplementing Chapter 188, Article 10, Zones, supplementing Section 188-69 entitled Architectural Rural Estate Zones, AR1, AR3, AR4, and AR6, and Section 19-1.1.
69.1.
69.1, I'm sorry. Architectural Rural Estate, AR2, to include farm-related special events, large-scale, and farm-related special events, small-scale, as permitted use.
I'll move to introduce ordinance 25-11.
Second.
Councilman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Abstain.
Thank you. The ordinance is properly introduced.
Full support of that ordinance. Next one, O-25-12, an ordinance amending Chapter 139 Fees, Article 17 Land Use, subsection 31 entitled Land Use Certificates, subsection 34 entitled Site Plans and Subdivisions, and subsection 41 Rules of General Applicability of the Revised General Ordinances of Township of Howell. Motion?
Motion to introduce ordinance 25-12.
Second?
Councilman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Abstain.
Thank you. The ordinance is properly introduced.
Ordinance O-2513, an ordinance amending application checklist subdivisions, site plans, and variance applications to add addendum and entitled Farm-Related Special Events Checklist of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Howell.
I'll make a motion to introduce said ordinance.
Second.
Councilman Fisher?
Yes.
Councilman Nadell?
Yes.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
Yes.
Mayor Leggio?
Abstain.
Thank you. The ordinance is properly introduced.
All right. That's it. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for March 18th, 2025. Executive session begins at 6 p.m. and the regular session at 7 p.m. Seeing no further business before the council, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting, and happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 23-minute meeting.